Hey there, let's do it live on a Football Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, your sports betting partner, your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio. I am merely Bo, he is the Great Z, and we have a little bit of drama this afternoon, my friend.
We do. So Deshaun Watson has been limited in practice all week. He is questionable to go on Sunday. On the official injury report, Kevin Stefancio is saying he is, quote, hopeful for Deshaun to play Sunday. He did some light throwing. Deshaun Watson's going to be out there, and I think he's going to be just fine. Obviously, they talked about on a run play last week, took a pop to that right shoulder.
Yep.
That was early in the game, obviously finished it out and played very, very well in that game. So let there still be some optimism there, but the team right now, the official word is that they are hopeful he will play. But
let's also remember there's a bye week after this one.
You're right. So he'll get, again, I think he's going to go out there. I think he's going to be just fine. And then, hopefully you get this win, and you get a bye week to get ready for the San Francisco 49ers coming in. But, DTR looked good in the preseason. I don't expect that we will see him at all on Sunday unless it is, at the end of a game type of a situation. Other than that, fully healthy. Only guy on the injury report.
Boy, you look around the league, and we were talking about the Ravens injury report, which ramped back up. Ronnie Staley out of practice today over there. I mean, their injury report is long.
Massive.
And so, you look around the league and you think the injury's stacking up. And to this point, lock on clear plastic, we're in a pretty good spot. We are in a pretty good spot.
And I have news for you that you'll appreciate. So, obviously, we're going to be hopeful there. We can be hopeful to have new chairs soon. And
so
I want to let you.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
You are a getting blank done type of guy.
That's right. I am.
That's what you are.
Yeah.
So, there was an umbrage taken with these chairs by us.
Yeah.
And you solved it, or are in the process of solving it.
That's right. Did you know how this went? Have you heard about it already?
I don't know anything about it.
But you have it. By the way, you have it right. He didn't help.
Well, no, of course not. He's a rapscallion.
Yes, he didn't help at all. So
helping.
I went. Happened to be walking.
My chair is worth more than the 4 chairs in there.
His chair is worth. By the way, his chair is worth more than these 4 chairs combined.
Well, he should. He's the head honcho.
That's what I said.
Head honcho label right over there. That's how it goes.
So I see the great Srodek on the stairs, and I said to him, Matt, hey, we're having issue with some chairs in here. They're breaking my back. They're making a lot of noise. Uno hates this.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not good.
Not great.
And so he came up and I said, Gibbe's not going to. We've told Gibbe. He said he's not going to come talk to you because he enjoys our misery.
Yep.
And he said, I'm on it.
Yep.
I said, and he goes, I don't know if I'll be able to get you anything today. I said, look, anything in the next calendar year honestly would feel like a big win
Honestly.
compared to the trajectory we were on.
Oh, we swim in red tape on this show.
Yeah. So, we still don't have our on-air light.
No.
He said that he's going to work on that too, by the way. So we've got a lot of things going for us.
He's a get stuff done guy too.
He is the get stuff done guy. So we're gonna get some new chairs here, and the best part was though they were looking at. By the way, Gibbe's chair. I don't know if you've ever sat in it.
I just sat in it right now 10 minutes ago. I was sitting there unsat in. And I thought this looks like a nice chair.
Electric, right?
I just don't. Does it come up? Because
so they're going to see if they can find one that's high enough for us. But then he was concerned about the height of the back. Would that be distracting? And Gibbe waffled a little bit and didn't know if he needed to consult with others. I was like, it says you're the head honcho. It says it right here.
Yeah, you can do the chairs.
If the chair's good, you're fine.
From an audio standpoint, sure. From a video and how it looks standpoint,
we have 3 different oranges in here. I think we're okay.
And you have us as the vessels.
Come on.
We still have an orange wall.
Come on.
We've tried.
We're good. We're
Many have
safe.
tried.
No one's going to come at you for the chairs, Gibby.
No.
You're safe. You're safe.
By the way, real quick, shout out to the Boulder.
All right, let's talk about
it.
So I come in and, I love a box of that. Yeah. I love a box of that, especially when it comes from a Browns backers. So I think this is the first ever gift to us from a Browns backers club.
I think we've gotten some shirts made from the Bay Area Browns backers.
No, I don't.
Years ago.
Yeah,
predates
me. Predates me.
Yeah.
This is
stunning.
glorious.
Yeah, it's glorious.
It's a gorgeous pint glass to drink out of. Dillinger's Bar and Grill. Cleveland Browns backers of Boulder on that one, and then a fantastic Raglan.
Look at this thing.
Which I love.
I feel like I could hit a softball a country mile in this thing.
No, there's no question you could hit a softball a country mile.
Yeah.
A
nice card.
Note. Yeah, merrily. What a great way to start from Bo and Dr. Z. Boulder Browns backers kindly sending you both our 2023 membership shirts and glasses. Hope they fit and hope you enjoy the president, Jamie Jasinski, with that. Here's what I would say. We had talked about this back when we were the World's team, and I do think it would be a very fun thing for us to map out, like in the spring, to do a motorhome Browns backers tour and take the show on the road.
I would like to go to Australia, so world tour.
I would too. I think budgetarily, we would have to have a hell of a sponsor on that one.
Yeah.
I think us getting a Winnebago and
Be
bouncing around
awesome.
playing some golf and going to visit our Browns backers is a little bit more doable.
I agree with you, and I'll tell you, I think that maybe the time to strike is now, because not only that, I think that we could also, I think in the spring that we get working on. Gibbe, write this down. I also think we get working on a CBD merch line.
Oh, the
that
merch
has been in the theoretical works for how many years?
Oh, these many years.
Since 2018.
Yep.
And I think we make all this happen. I think this is all. That's what we need to do.
I would love nothing more than to go to the Boulder Browns backers.
Oh man,
I mean that's living.
Maybe we'll do a chalk talk at Red Rocks.
The dream. Of course we could do it. Why wouldn't they?
Can't say we wouldn't.
Couldn't say we wouldn't.
No.
This was the school of my dreams, the Colorado. That was it. So yeah, that is very, very fantastic. As for our game, we had a game here on a Monday night that we try to forget, but quite frankly you can't. The House of Horrors in Pittsburgh.
That's right.
That night there was a chance to validate a lot of the goodwill that you felt early on with this team, and it was a chance to kind of lay claim that you were the team to beat in the AFC North coming off the win against Cincinnati. It didn't go the way that you wanted to, even though, quite frankly, you dominated the football game.
Yes.
You have a similar opportunity here on Sunday. This is a Baltimore Ravens team that has been near the top of the division for the better part of their existence. They are bruised. They are battered. We believe this defense has the chance to be a seminal defense for this era of football. And so it's a matter of validating all of that on a Sunday. And if you beat Baltimore, that bye week feels pretty dang good, my friend. So there's a lot on the line on this one on Sunday.
It's a big game.
It's
I
huge.
mean, it is
huge.
Because not only, if you win it, you get to 2-1 in the division. That's a great place to be. You're atop the division at 3-1 overall with your record. Like, there is a ton at stake. You're exactly right. And for the Cleveland Browns, a chance to take down the Ravens and to take down the Bengals, who we've talked about, we think are the two most likely teams to, be in the mix at the end, and to get this team, its first ever, hard to believe, but true, AFC North crown. And so I think there's a lot at stake here. At home, we've been very good at home. Deshaun Watson is 3-1 here at home as the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. And again, to reiterate, I think that he will be out there on Sunday and play well for the Cleveland Browns. It is a big game. It is a chance to make a statement. Really, the next two games, if you can go 1-1 in the next two games, you're in a very good spot. If you can somehow sweep the next two games, you will then be the talk of the NFL 4-1 after beating the Ravens and then beating the 49ers. So, but it starts with beating the Ravens to get that, to bring that to be a reality. I very much like our matchup. They are very beaten up. And this is a chance to come out if we can play clean and execute and not beat ourselves. I think we win this game. Again, it's not something we're used to saying with the Cleveland Browns, to be honest. And it's my 11th season. It is not often that we are going to be able to say pretty much 90% of the weeks we are the better team.
I think the only game the rest of the year that there's a chance we're not favored in is probably San Francisco.
And then probably could be maybe at Cincy, depending on where that is at the end of the year.
Yeah, depending on Cincinnati's
at Baltimore.
Health.
Those are the three.
Depending on the health. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm guessing it would be San Francisco 1 here. It'll be tight. It won't be. It'll be very small. 1.5, something like that. Feels like they're doing 1.5 a lot. You notice that? I'm seeing a lot of 1.5s to start the week, and then a lot of movement as the week goes along. But that seems to be where they're comfortable living. So, look, hopefully you can stack these things. Hopefully you can handle your business and get to a bye week at 3-1, and then the bye week tastes a lot differently. Going into a loss, man. Going into a bye week, a loss lingers. I was just doing this morning in Columbus with the Buckeyes. You get it by a half yard at Notre Dame, and it's like, hey, we're kings of the world. Let's go win a national championship. If you're a half yard short on that one, it's like, God, we got to fire the coach. And you're not going to getting those type of swings on this one because the NFL is far more pragmatic. But from the same point, like, you are going to have the difference between the joy and vitriol is enormous.
Hold on a second. After week 1, it was Super Bowl, Super Browns. After week 2, when we lost to the Steelers, it was fire everybody. After week 3, we just vanquished the Titans, and now we're totally back.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
I don't think our fans think we're totally back yet. I think our
back.
fans need this one Sunday.
Well, this will be.
They're pointing to this one and saying, "All right, prove it." This is a prove it game. I really think it is. I think it's a prove it
You
game.
get this one.
There's a lot of
chestiness.
lot of fun was had in beating Tennessee, dominating them the way that you did. But the Pittsburgh thing stings. This helps. This limits the damage of the Pittsburgh thing it almost nullifies it.
Yeah.
Because if you and I would have said at the start of the season 3-1 through the first 4 at the bye, yep, you'd love to be 3-1. Minimum 2-2. I think we even said that, like minimum 2-2, because it's a tough way to start.
Sure.
And at that time, we didn't know about the Burrow injury, so you thought that game may be a little bit more of a challenge than it was. So 2-2 minimum, you've got that locked. 3-1, rocket ship.
Yep, consequential.
Now you're cruising. All right,
cruising like us on Thursday night. By the way,
oh
let me
baby,
say.
it's just many layups. So many layups. We will get to that coming
Too
up
easy.
next. It is too easy. Cadre Ishmael. You never know what you're going to get there. He's going to join us at the bottom of the hour.
We're really doing that?
Yeah. Running it back. He was all right last time. It was 2 times ago where he came at us strong.
Yeah, just
came strong. All right, you got your over-unders coming up. You've got a one-on-one with Amari Cooper. We'll get you your keys to victory. And, of course, you must pay attention to the scores because the dubs keep getting stacked. We're off and running on a Football Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Elk & Elk, serious lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk & Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. I had the youth football last night, and so by the time I got home, which I just it's never going to take for me, like the streaming football. It just I don't like not being able to bounce around. I can't stand like having to lock in on it like that.
I don't mind it at all.
It drives me nuts.
I
think you're more used to it because you
Yeah.
have the YouTube TV.
Yeah.
But I love I need a freedom. I want to watch 5 minutes of something while things are happening. There you go.
Can I say what I did last night?
It was 21-3 by the time, or no, was it 21-3 or 24-3 by the time I got home?
So we were on remote last night. By the way, shout out to the Browns fans, everybody that came out to West Park Station last night for the Kevin Stefanski show. Great crowd. MJ Emerson was great. But because we were on remote, I was then in my car as that game kicked off.
Yes.
And so I got to drive home, and it was awesome. I got to do what some people say they do for the Browns games. I was able to get on my phone the game, the video, and sync it to Iron Eagle and the Huff on the Westwood One radio broadcast.
There you go.
And so
the Hofstradamus.
It was really cool getting to listen to the Hoff call the game with Iron Eagle. I listened to basically the whole first quarter. Gibby, did you listen to any of it?
I listened to the end of the second quarter and all the third.
Yeah, so. And he did a good job. You could tell even a legend like the Hoff's a little nervous early,
sure,
and then really settled in and gave some great analysis. And I thought he did a great job. It was awesome. It was fun listening to him.
It's so easy to call a close game. It is not easy when at halftime it is 24-3 or 27-3, and you are. Like, you got a whole nother half.
Well, yeah, the plays take on less importance. You know what I mean?
Those two were pros, and handled it great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what's happening on a lot of these games. Like, Michaels was trying his best to sell it in the third quarter when the Packers scored.
Yeah,
on that first one to like manufacture some sort. Hey, maybe we got something. You get another one, and it's like, nope, sorry, Al.
No, we don't.
You're not.
We got another David Montgomery touchdown for all of you.
Oh, baby.
So Pelissero yesterday morning.
Tell the people what happened.
Pelissero says he's not playing. So
Correct.
You get all the reports that he's not playing, and then he's like, "Nah, he is going to play." But then you hear that vague, maybe on a pitch count.
Well, and there was also Jeff Risen, who covers the Lions, had a report that he wasn't in the morning because my update guy in the morning was like, Montgomery is in but could be limited, and then Risen, there was a report Risen
said he was
out, and it's like, so there was no consistency with it.
Well, which led you to
sucked.
believe that this was a very touchy situation, not a situation in which they would give him 32 carries,
a little misleading,
and 2 receptions. By the way, and you guys all know, you've been listening. The receipts are out there. Play the tape. Roll that beautiful bean footage. I've been on Dave Montgomery big this year, hugely. He goes for 121 and 3. Everybody's crying about Jahmyr Gibbs not getting enough touches. By the way, they're better when they have David Montgomery and they run that cloud of dust. It opens up their play action game, and Goff's very effective in it.
Gibbs was picked ahead of Montgomery in most fantasy drafts,
which was
insane.
Crazy, because you knew he was going to be Montgomery was going to be Jamal Williams, except he's a better running back than Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams led the NFL in touchdowns last year. Rushing touchdowns.
You knew he would follow that role, and that's what he's done. So he's been great.
That was a tough one. And then Christian Watson, though they did appropriately have, yes, he's going to play, but he's going to be on a pitch count. And if he didn't catch a touchdown, would have had a horrible day. Only 2 catches for 25 yards. But that Montgomery, we got to get that. We got to get that.
We got to get that locked in.
Yeah, we got to be better.
How long did it take Jordan Love to throw the ball to Christian Watson on that play?
On the touchdown?
He was open for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude,
throw
over
it
there.
Yeah. I do that in the booth a lot of times when guys wide open.
So I do it with the Bootsy's flag football team last night under the lights. Like we're scheming up. Everybody knows all the misdirection now, so there are no big plays. So I'm like, all right, we're putting in Philly. We're putting in Tebow jump pass. We're putting in halfback pass. We're putting in all these things, right?
Stuff.
Just pure joy for the kids.
Yeah.
So then the problem is like as the play is all set up. And on one of them, we fumbled it on the exchange, on the Philly. We fumbled the exchange, so ball's dead on a fumble. And then another one, like on 3 other ones, you're like, throw it there. He's wide open. Little buggers can't see it.
They can't see it.
Can't see it. It's a shame.
Got to see the field.
But look, I got something I want to run by both of you guys.
Okay.
Are the Detroit Lions the most universally liked franchise currently in American sports?
No.
I'm not beloved. I guess what I'm saying is I don't know that I think you're following me. I don't think
nobody's rooting against them.
That's it. That's it.
I did get a text last night that the world needs a Lions-Browns Super Bowl.
See, they are so easy to root for right now. Dan Campbell is so likable from 24/7. They did right by Stafford and then they got right themselves.
Dude,
because
Goff
of it.
is likable.
Goff's
great.
Goff's fine. Goff's likable.
Did you
Team
see
goes
him?
out and plays hard.
They play hard.
Yeah.
They've got all these football guys, Spielman and Dorse, and all these guys that are, all these old football guys making decisions. They're drafting off-ball linebackers and running backs and tight ends with their first three picks that they're not using. I mean, it's crazy. But despite it all, they played the last week of the season when it meant nothing. They went and beat the Packers.
Aaron Rodgers,
And they're no threat. They've never won anything ever. So they've been largely bad for 50, 60 years, and it's like it kind of feels like everybody's kind of rooting for them.
And they've been fun. Like Barry Sanders was must-see. Calvin Johnson was must-see. Herman Moore for a time was must-see. Like they've always had fun teams to watch, even though they've not necessarily fun players.
Yeah, I was going to say they had fun individuals.
Fun offenses. Like it was – I mean, obviously there were some dark Eric Kramer years, maybe a little –
He took him to an NFC Championship game.
Andre Ware, did he?
Beat bad by the Cowboys.
Was that Wayne Fonts?
Early Wayne Fonts, early 90s.
I mean, Scott Mitchell, they were slinging it around.
Yeah, no, and it's just like it's Honolulu blue and silver, and it's the colors are great. Like the uniforms are cool lion on the hat. Like it just, to me, it just feels like a team that's like, they're not beloved. They're not the most beloved team in the United States sports, but I don't know that anybody has a negative thing to say about them.
No, and I think people, to your point, look at them as kind of non-threatening.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's not.
So
they're not. For them, they do cartwheels if they won the NFC North and won a playoff game.
So I don't know if you guys heard last night, Ryan Fitzpatrick referred to Jared Goff as a poor man's Matt Ryan.
I did hear that.
Jared Goff, in the postgame,
I saw this as well,
brought it up.
Oh, yeah.
And said, I'm not a poor man's anything.
Yeah.
Which
to
I thought
his face.
To his face. To Ryan Fitzpatrick's face. Now, Ryan Fitzmagic, and I understand he's doing TV now, but like Jared Goff has accomplished things on a football field
for sure
that Ryan Fitzpatrick never has.
Correct.
And in some ways, it's tough when you're, Richard Sherman talking about a corner can say at one point, I was the best corner in the league. Andrew Whitworth was, I don't know if he was ever the best left tackle in the league, but was certainly well regarded.
Yes.
He was not a journeyman backup who started here and there like Fitzpatrick was.
He's...
So you could tell Goff was cool about it, but also that it irked
annoyed
him. Yes, and I think justified. I've taken a team to a Super Bowl. I've now come, here, and I'm playing at a high level, and all that. I thought that was very interesting, and I was thinking,
how did Fitzmagic respond to it?
He's like, "Oh, so you heard that, huh?" or something like that. And Whitworth's like, "I didn't tell him."
Okay.
And he just kind of was like, "No, I meant that I meant like Matt Ryan's was really, really good." And Jared Goff was kind of like, Matt Ryan's a great quarterback. He goes, "It's all good." He said, "But I'm just, I'm not a poor man's anything."
Good for him.
It was good for him.
Yeah.
I thought it was great, and I thought I liked that. That was real, and I do think Fitzmagic is in a little bit of a tough spot. He just needs to be, if you just stick to the facts of the play and talk about what you see, and don't necessarily label it he is a poor man's anything. Like I think he's going to be fine. It's not like if Kurt Warner said that. He wouldn't have, by the way. Kurt Warner would never say that.
No, he wouldn't have, because he doesn't have. You don't have to worry. When you're in that, like Fitzmagic, you're probably trying to find your way in this.
Yes.
And so what usually happens, you see this, like RG3 does this from time to time. Like when you do not have Jason Williams is another one who did this, the former Bulls and Duke point guard. If you don't have like the pro resume, it feels like you have to try harder with your takes to be noticed.
Yeah.
So if you think about Legler, he used to do this all the time with the NBA. He did this a lot. Merrill Hodge did this a lot. So like if you don't have like that pristine resume of I'm better than you, or at least my career measures up, then it feels like you have to try harder on the analysis. And the easiest way to do that is to be hot take.
Yes, but I'll give you like a guy who has climbed as quickly as anybody, Dan Orlovsky. He never says things like that. He sticks to his analysis and typically is like focuses on both the good and the bad, but sticks to like the tape and then breaking that down in ways that are easy to digest.
Typically what Orlovsky does, though, is if there is criticism, he puts it on play caller. So he's smart in that regard. Like the criticism is usually of the play caller or the positions they're put in. He rarely goes at players.
Sure.
It's usually scheme that fails the player is usually the way he goes about it. Also, Dan grew organically out of Twitter.
Yeah.
To become what he was. So like that was his path, was to do this I'm going to break down scheme. I'm going to break down the shortcomings of scheme, and this is what leads to the success or failure of a player.
Yeah.
But no, he's an example of somebody he usually just sticks to scheme. He doesn't stick to like comparing players. Anytime you start comparing players to players, that's trouble. That's
I totally agree with that. I think it is tough. And I always liked Jared Goff. I mean, the 2016 Cleveland Browns daily, that whole period was me battling Goff over Wentz and people like getting all mad and going nuts. And I'm sure they want us to draft a running back first anyway.
Wasn't that our big trade?
We traded out because the Rams, we thought we were going to get Goff because the Titans had just drafted Mariota, right? Right before. And they had the number 1 pick. And so they weren't going to take, I think it was the Titans. Was it?
No, I think it was the Titans. I think they had Mariota. They drafted Mariota after the 2000, and it would have been the 15 draft. They drafted Mariota.
Okay, and then this would have been the 16 draft?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly right. And so, they had the number 1 pick, and then all of a sudden the Rams jumped up, and they're like, we're taking Goff. And so the Browns didn't want Wentz and traded out. And, Wentz did have a good start, but obviously you would take Jared Goff's career right now 100 times out of 100. Jared Goff is a totally guy you can win with. I mean, he's gone to a Super Bowl. I think this Lions team's going to be a playoff
3
team.
Pro Bowls, buddy.
Yes, Jared Goff's good. Look at his career numbers.
I am looking at him right now. Yeah, he's very good throughout. I mean, the 2 seasons, 18-19 with the Rams are otherworldly. 4,600 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 picks. The second year he was not 19. He was not 19 was a struggle. It was 22 touchdowns, 16 picks, and just 63% passers. And then they gave him one more year in 2020. And he was 20 touchdowns, 13 picks, and then that's when they went for the upgrade with Stafford. It's one of those things where it works for everybody.
Yes,
the Rams get the immediate return. They win the Super Bowl, but now because of that deal, it's going to be really hard for them to rebuild. Meantime, the Lions get a jump start on a rebuild. They get a younger quarterback who maybe doesn't have the high end, but is certainly more than capable of winning the NFC North on a regular basis. So that's pretty good.
Yep.
It says here, you want to do? We got a minute on the Ryder Cup, or is it even worth mentioning how bad we've gotten our butts kicked
slumping.
over there?
I feel like the team that got left home was probably better than the Euros.
So that would have been DeChambeau, DJ. Who else is in that mix?
Hold on, I can tell you. And I can't take credit for it.
Well, they also sat Justin Thomas, and JT was pretty good, although they ended up. I mean, Spieth didn't give him anything.
I mean, the guys left home: Cam Young, Keegan, DJ, Bryson, Reed.
And he didn't even play Koepka in the morning, right?
I thought he played Koepka. He didn't play Koepka in the morning?
I don't think so.
I played Koepka and Justin Thomas and everything.
Gooch, Glover, English, McCarthy.
I don't know who does. I don't.
Come again?
This is my golf league. This is one of the ramblings of someone that knows golf way more than I do.
I don't know.
I knew the first 5 or 6.
I think you probably should have taken DJ and DeChambeau. Would have been smart to take those two cats.
Cam Young?
Sure, but the first two for sure. Like you got to. I mean that feels like a miss. I got to be honest with you. It's to your point in the question here, Gibbe. Can we move it out of the fall? Yes, please.
Yes, of course. Not necessary right now.
No, I don't have space. I have no mental space for it. It was on at 1:00 in the morning. First time I've ever seen a course in Italy.
Yeah,
course looked fine.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The only one we were going to win in the morning, Hovland knocked the 26-footer into smash.
Yeah,
final.
Yeah, that was. I was watching that one live. Yeah, he is a beast. And
he's
then
playing better than
Rahm was chipped. Rahm chipped everything in.
Yeah, they were pretty
cruising.
Nuts. By the way, this from Mary Kay Cabot.
All right. 14
minutes ago. I talked to Deshaun Watson in the locker room for a quick second. Didn't want to elaborate, but said he is okay and expects to face the Ravens.
As is first reported by you at the start of our show.
Well, I did say that, yeah.
Yeah. The scores are all there for you, kids. All right. Kadri Ishmael will join us coming up next just at the Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns avocados from Peru and Meyer want you to enter the Ultimate Football Sweepstakes for your chance to win a 2023 Ford Lightning electric pickup truck, a VIP tour of the Cross Country Mortgage campus, or a $1,000 Meyer gift card. Visit Meyer or clevelandbrowns.com/avocados for more. As we head behind enemy lines, former Ravens wide receiver and co-host of Purple Pregame Show on WJZ. He joins on the Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea Hotline. It's Kadri Ishmael. Kadri, thank you so much for taking the time. I guess let's just start with an update on the MASH unit over there. Really injury-riddled. Where do we stand? How healthy can we be on Sunday from Baltimore's perspective?
Well, I know that there were a couple of guys that they got back. Marcus Williams made his presence felt. I know he was dealing with a pec injury, and I believe that Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum, our tackle and center, they were reported out there at practice, and pretty much John Harbaugh is taking the line of, hey, we got guys injured, but we're not going to necessarily talk about it. We'll let the injury report do its thing and be what it is. And I think for the Raven fan base, it's okay. Well, I guess we'll just wait till Sunday to see who suits up, and then you'll know those people are healthy, and the people who are inactive, well, basically they're inactive because they can't play.
Yeah, how was kind of the team responded to last week at home, a game that, watching it felt like they should have won 6 different times, and the Browns had a very similar type of a game on Monday night against Pittsburgh where they gave one away. How's everybody kind of responded to that loss at home to the Colts?
Well, I think it was a dose of reality that you have to recognize in the NFL. You can never take an opponent for granted. You can't take a week off. I think they had the momentum from the Cincinnati game in the first drive of the game offensively. They went down the field, long sustaining drive, and put up points. But then after that, it was turnovers and just inconsistent play and punting the ball away. And it's just not a recipe for winning football. The crazy thing about it, you never really want to, blame referees or anything along those lines, but when you still have an opportunity late in the game to really have a chance to win it, and there is a blatant pass interference, you know it's just not your day. There was a blatant pass interference. The coach, I believe it was a linebacker, Zay Flower crosses his face. He gets yanked, and nothing. Just held the hanky, said, I'm not going to throw it. And so Zay was left holding his hands up in the air, and I think that was just kind of like the indication of the day. It's just not going to be the Ravens' day. So it's a good opportunity to refocus and recognize you're going to an opponent, and the opponent just so happens to be in your division. And so I think this is a good road test for this Ravens ball club.
Kadri, what's the biggest difference in the Todd Monken offense and the offenses you had previously?
Well, I think for what Todd first, mentioned when he was hired as the offensive coordinator was defending, 53 in the third, meaning that, defenses are going to have to account for everyone and play sideline to sideline. And I think we've seen that. We've seen where, they've distributed the ball. They've gotten into 11 personnel far more than they ever had in the previous coordinator's regime. And at the same time, you also see some of the things that Greg Roman kind of implemented in the run game. I mean, he was a good run game genius. I think Todd Monken is no fool. He recognizes that you have an amazing dynamic quarterback, and he's kind of implemented some of those schemes as well. So it's definitely a different offense, but one where you're seeing the fullness of this Ravens team.
So I want to talk to you about those offense. 2 questions in particular. Week 1, no design runs for Lamar Jackson. Last week there were 3 on the opening drive, and Lamar has his best rushing day, 14 carries, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. Is that something do you think you'll see more of in terms of the designed runs for Lamar?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's a week-to-week proposition. That's where, Todd comes in. I think his versatility is what's the defense giving us? Where are we at from a health standpoint? Part of the design runs is the fact that you were depleted at the running back spot.
Yep.
You're bringing in a guy off the street and Kenyon Drake, and I mean, he does an amazing job running the football, and then he fumbles it. And so I think any coordinator in any offense, you're trying to get guys caught up to speed, but then you also recognize, well, who do I got? Oh, wait, I got Lamar Jackson, and you don't. So it's that level of awareness to be able to mold and adapt to the different situations you're presented.
What do you make of the passing offense? And I'll couch it like this. 73.3% completions for Lamar, career high, second in the NFL, yet his yards per attempt below his career average. And I kind of looked in the numbers. He's only averaging 7 passes a game more than 10 yards in the air, 21 passes a game on passes fewer than 10 yards in the air or behind the line of scrimmage. What do you make of this quick game? And at some point, do they need to evolve and take some shots down the field?
Yeah, and I think if you look at that and if you look at what the defenses have been doing, again, going back to the Cincinnati game, there were some shots that he took. One, he hit Nelson Aguilar on beautifully. Another one he had to Zay Flowers. Didn't get it done, but it was still a beautiful play. But then he comes back to Zay Flowers and, throws a beautiful one, and Zay goes up for it. I think, again, there were some seam routes down the field to Mark Andrews. I believe this is a game where, you're going to have that up and down statistical look. And if you're more of a stats guy, an analytics guy, you're going to get caught up in the minutia of that. You're going to miss out on the beauty of what you see the offense doing against what the defense is trying to present. So if you say, well, you just need to take shots down the field, sure. But if you're looking at it, from a Ravens-Colts perspective, the Ravens turned the ball over.
Sure.
How are you going to throw the ball down the football field when you just turned it over? Those are things where I think it affects your stats, but the stats don't necessarily tell the fuller picture. I think this team is sitting there, with the injuries, with some of the guys still trying to get adjusted because of, unfortunately, they, had a training camp where it wasn't, starters in for preseason games. So it's still getting to know one another situation. And obviously once the train leaves the station in the NFL, okay, all hands on deck, and you better be ready.
Yeah, so you're thinking this team is still kind of finding its footing a little bit, and hey, when you're 2-1, that's a good situation to be in. Flipping it over to the defensive side of the ball, again, banged up a little bit, but Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen playing at elite levels. What have you seen from this defense, and how have they been on the back end, despite the fact that they haven't had, they're going to get Marcus Williams back, but they haven't had Marlon Humphrey all year?
Yeah, again, I think, as you just said, some of those names that you mentioned, but the big one is Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Since he arrived here in Baltimore, it's been a scenario where, okay, it's not what I say, it's what I do. And he's done it. And he has done an amazing job of just providing that swagger and that moxie that you look for in a Ravens defense. The likes of a Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, and obviously Ray Lewis, the ultimate field general. He brings it. And I think that is an infectious attitude to the entire defense. I think what we saw with Kyle Hamilton was really cool. Even though they lost the game, I mean, it kind of, put a dark cloud over an amazing performance that Kyle had 3 sacks on Gardner Minshew that you just were like, wow, that was,
he's unbelievable.
The end worthy, if you will. So I think overall the defense is, Mark McDonald is really putting them in great positions, or Mike McDonald, putting them in great positions to make plays and accentuate their talents. And yeah, you don't have a full deck. You hopefully will get Marlon Humphreys back, as well as obviously Marcus Williams coming back as well.
Kadri, have you had a chance to watch this Browns defense yet, or through the first month of the season?
I saw a little bit of the Pittsburgh game,
okay.
and the biggest thing that I think this stands out is just relentless speed to the ball.
Yeah.
Kind of like a nasty swagger that the Browns defense has, and they're not your same Browns that we've seen in the past.
No, and I think that's what's going to be fascinating for us, at least, is kind of that matchup of this Browns defense, and that's fully healthy, unlike some of the injuries that have happened over there, versus a guy who was here. We had Todd here a few years ago as an offensive coordinator and liked his mind a lot. So I think that chess match is the one that we think this thing could kind of fall on. Who kind of wins that one? Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think this is probably one of the first interviews that I've had that I played it a little straighter, because I can't make fun of the Browns. Like, how? Usually you're like your team, you guys, I'm not gonna do what Jamar Chase did. I'm not gonna go ahead and poke the bear or poke the elf. Okay, the elf is a good dude. He's a good dude. Y'all got a good, cool logo. Y'all got some cool uniforms. All that good stuff, and it's wholesome. It's wholesome goodness. So that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah. I think from a Todd aspect of things, I'm glad we have him. I wish Odell was healthy and going to play. Looks like he's not, so we can't necessarily. But we'll get a chance to have Odell back and Todd when the Elf travels to Baltimore and the Ravenbird, Edgar Allan and Poe is going to be out there.
Oh, my God, that thing's terrifying.
Of course, you guys, I'm telling you, your dog is not going to be able to come because we don't have a chance to pick up its litter, and we'll leave him over at the dog pound. And that's okay.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Yeah. This. I just need a little of that.
There we
That's
go.
what we were hoping
That's
for.
right.
A little bit of that.
Yeah.
Good talking to you, buddy.
It's all a mind game. The Browns are the best team ever. They're going to just dominate.
You're right. I mean,
you're right.
You said it. That was Kadri Ishmael
Historically,
who just said it.
historic defense.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Psychological warfare.
Kadri Ishmael joining us on the Twisted Tea Hotline, brought to you by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. Coming up next, we hit you with some overs and unders. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, Express Beer, presented by Bud Light, brings the same facial authentication technology used in Express access to beer purchases in the stadium. Dedicated Express beer stands are the fastest way to get a beer, including the Browns Stadium, if you're 21 or over. Go to the Tickets tab in the Browns mobile app to learn more there.
It's a new little trinket this year.
There you go.
Why wait in line?
Deja Blue. Cold, crisp water.
It's like my garage beer ads that Bob's doing.
That was good.
I really want to go to Dillinger's Bar and Grill, though.
Oh,
Looking
man.
at
Look
the
at
back of
this.
your shirt.
I got to give this to my
feel
guy
like,
at AIW, Derek Dillinger.
Like, how close is Boulder
We
to
gotta get him some
Denver
more
when we
Dillinger.
go?
Boulder?
Yeah.
Close.
Oh,
hour.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
within an hour.
You're safe.
Like, are we Ubering there
I guess
the night before
I said
the game?
that. I said that relatively confidently, but I guess I've never gone to Boulder from Denver. I've gone to Boulder from Montana.
Am I getting our
so
security
I've not
detail to
driven
drive us
past
to
and then-
Dillinger's the
Right.
night before the Broncos game?
I mean, it's gorgeous.
It's
Really
it
gorgeous.
is gorgeous.
Boulder Browns backers. There's some great ones out there. He's got the Rockies. So those are the what is the name of those mountains that are right there behind Boulder that line up like that? They're Flatiron. That could be it.
Say it with authority.
Well,
Yeah,
I
sure.
hate to be wrong. I know our folks are listening. I haven't thought about them in a long time, but there are the mountains that are right there that are behind the campus that you see behind the gorgeous Folsom Field in Boulder.
The Flatirons.
Did I get that
Guide
right?
to the Boulder Flatirons. Yeah,
All right, there
you got
we
it
go.
right.
All right, good job out of me.
Boulder to
Rockford-
Denver, 38 minutes.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
easy.
yeah,
Smell a
we're
little
easy.
road trip the night before the game.
Yeah, there you go.
We got to be locked in, baby. Rocky Mountain. We got to get acclimated. I think if
I'll
I
get
recall, the
acclimated.
best thing to do in
Yellow Jackets.
in Denver, Colorado, as I
Jackets for
recall,
everybody.
is to be in a horse-drawn carriage.
Boy, I remember that.
Some things are best off air. All right, let's do it. Over-unders, boys.
What do we got going on?
Last week.
Sure, you're dominating.
Last week, you both went 3-2.
Okay, all right.
3-2, 3-2.
So I'm still down one.
Gibby maintains his 1 point lead.
What did we get all the same, or did we split?
No, you split. So oddly, it's actually crazy how it worked out. The Ford Hunt over under Derrick Henry, you got. It's not like they did much, but Henry did nothing.
He had 20, baby.
He had 20. So Gibby got that one wrong, and then you got wrong. Sacks, interceptions,
By a
fumbles
half.
by
I
a half.
won 2 of 3?
And Gibby got another one of those.
Let's
He's
go!
gotten that now a couple of times. Yeah, so good job. So that's it.
That means
All the
I'm
rest,
due
you
to fail
guys,
on that one
and you guys both got wrong the
Total,
over under, which
yeah.
is 39.5.
Right.
All right, ready? Here we go. We are looking for total yards accounted for by a quarterback. Deshaun Watson over under Lamar Jackson.
Total
Dr. Z.
yards.
Total yards, rush yards count, boys.
So last week would have been 303 for Lamar Jackson, and for our guy Deshaun Watson, it would have been 305.
It's right on it.
Right on it. That was one of Watson's highest outputs, though.
Lamar's too. I mean,
And Lamar's
Lamar
as
hasn't
well.
had.
He hasn't had 100
his
yards
game,
rushing
no.
like that. No.
They both have to be huge.
I think both of them do. I'm going to go. It's risky given the shoulder, but I got belief, baby. Deshaun Watson.
Over. Give it.
I think Lamar, simply because in garbage time he's got to make up the diff.
Oh, I like that. That's a good way you can even so you can go against, but also
But no, it's because I
but really
believe.
it's because I believe
It's 'cause
so
I
much. We'll
believe.
see if the rest of your picks also
line up with
show
that,
that shape
yeah.
of belief in terms of lining up. Next.
Over, under.
All right, we're looking for the Chief plus Amari over under receiving yards. Slow start to the season for the Chief, just 92 yards on the year. So the Chief and Amari over under Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. Gibbe.
Oh. I'm going over because we have to score points here. And
What about in the garbage time, though? Aren't they going to
we've
be
got
getting
it.
all those garbage time yards? Zay
We've
Flowers
got
and,
it.
and
We-
Andrews?
we've got a great secondary. Andrews is the wild card because I
Well,
think
he's
Zay
the
Flowers.
him and Amari are the certainties, I think. We'll see. Dr. Z.
Last year in 2 games, the Browns held Mark Andrews to 3 catches for 31 yards total. Browns.
Huge.
Over. Next.
Over.
I don't know if I
under.
like where this is going today.
All right. We're looking for total touches out of our backfield. We're looking for Ford plus Hunt total touches. We are setting the number this week at 23.5 total touches. Dr. Z.
So we were at 19 yesterday or last
week,
Last week. I'm gonna go under that number. I do think we'll run it more and more effectively this week, but I'm still gonna stay. I'm gonna stay under that number because Elijah Moore takes a lot of those backfield snaps away.
I was thinking the same thing. I will go under as well. I think there are a lot of players that are going to need to step up this week.
Next.
Over. Under.
Sacks,
I
interceptions,
should just
and
chalk this up as a loss.
fumbles. 4.5 is the number this week. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, the numbers from Dr.
Right on it.
Bishop are
It's right on it, boys.
boy.
We're out here. Yeah, you got to earn your money.
Oh. I got to go over. Defensive effort. Let's go. Let's go, Schwartz and company.
Dr. Z.
So Lamar's being sacked on average 2.67 times a game.
No Ronnie Stanley. Maybe. I feel like he'll be questionable.
We got 5 sacks last week. Ball's coming out quick.
Uno says under. I don't like that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but 4 could be 2 sacks, 2 turnovers, and it's an easy win, and you feel great about it. I'll go over.
Over. Next.
I don't know if I feel good
Over.
about anybody.
Under.
I'm just like right now. I'm doing these over/unders not from a point of strategy, point of which answer
wishfulness?
means more for more for a Browns win. That's where I'm going. Right
All right, the actual over-under, this is a repeat. It's 39.5, Dr. Z.
over.
All right. Give a.
Yep, just barely, but over.
All right, there you go. You guys only differed on one. Oh, no, yeah, just one. Just one difference.
Really?
On which one?
Deshaun versus Lamar.
Hater.
That was it. That's the only one. That's the only one.
The diff.
Could have either Gibby will be up 2 or even Steven.
Even Steven.
Even Steven. All right, good job out of both of you. All right, coming up next, Amari Cooper joins the program. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. residential and commercial customers. That's Rumpke Waste and Recycling. Visit rumpke.com to learn more. And now here's Z with Amari Cooper.
Very happy now to
You're down.
Browns leading receiver, 4-time Pro Bowler Amari Cooper. And Amari, how did it feel kind of get things unlocked a little bit against those Tennessee Titans?
I feel it was good. Anytime you can get into a nice rhythm, individually and collectively, it's good. We want to play complementary football. The defense has been playing really great for us. So, sometimes we got to cash in on those checks as much as possible and go out and score so that the defense can get some rest, number one, but also so that we can win the game. That's really the only way you can win is you score points. So I'm glad we got to see some of that, and we look forward to continuing that.
So I read that you had told the coaches, I think I can get up the field outside against these Titans guys. Is that something that you do in your study? I know you're such a student of the game. It's one of the things I love about watching you and seeing the way you play. But is that something you do a lot where you do in your own scout, you can say, hey, I kind of see this. Can we incorporate that in?
100%. The interesting thing about football is it's like the ultimate team game. It's not an individual sport. If, for example, if I was a boxer, and I can dissect the guy I'm fighting against, and I know exactly how to beat him, I could just make the change and beat him. But at wide receiver, you can because everybody has flaws in their games, no matter if someone is considered a lockdown corner. So the thing about me, I can look at a cornerback play, and it doesn't matter who it is. I know exactly how they can be beat. Just comes with my experience and how long I've been playing receiver. I know how to beat any type of corner just by evaluating their game. And I don't mean that as arrogance. It's just the truth. And so the problem with that is sometimes when I see something, I mean, over the course of my career, a lot of coaches, they just, they like you'll tell them and they just kind of ignore you. You know what I mean? But it's great.
That's wild.
Yeah, but if something wasn't a part of the game plan, or if it's not one of their first calls, then hey, they're sticking to their plan. Some people are how would I say it? They're just, I don't know. It's like they don't. It's like if it's not a part of their plan, then they won't.
They're not flexible.
They're not flexible enough to make the change. But the great thing about Kev, he'll tell me like, if you see something, tell me, let me know. And so I told him, and immediately he made the change. So, Kev is a young guy. He trusts us, and it worked. I'm not out here just a guy like trying to beg for the ball or anything like that. That's not who I am. But if I see something, I think he knows at this point. Like I'm not gonna come at him with no BS. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all it is.
So that's it's the collaboration, right? So part's you talking to the play caller and also the designer of the scheme, I guess, in essence. And then the other part is the communication with the quarterback and for you guys to be able to kind of see the field through the same eyes. And, we're at what now? 9 games with you and Deshaun Watson at quarterback. And obviously we've seen a pickup over 90 against the Steelers, over 116 last week, and the touchdown should have been more. We can talk about that or not talk about it. But do you feel like that is starting to click with Deshaun as well, that you guys are kind of seeing it the same way and being able to be on that same page where you say, hey, when I go like this, bring the ball here or whatnot?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of chess a little bit. Like when I play chess, chess is all about like knowing what to do in every situation. So like, as far as like the go balls, we've hit a couple. Deshaun, we've been communicating with him. Deshaun, I think at this point he knows exactly how to throw each one based off of like if I'm beating the corner bad, if the corner is even with me, or if whatever situation he's finding out. We're finding out together exactly how the ball should be placed. So imagine if we could get that done on every single route, and that's what we strive to do. I mean, it takes repetition, but it also takes a lot of communication. But I think we could get there.
Yeah, certainly we like what we've seen, right? Certainly it's off to a good start this season. You mentioned chess. I got to go back to that. You're an avid chess player. You and Chidobe Awuzie, right? Your former Dallas Cowboy teammate, have had some great battles on the chessboard. So when you play chess first, do you like to be the white and go first, or do you like to react to somebody else's move on the black as the defense?
Yeah, so the thing about chess is all about activating the pieces and the attack. So You play chess long enough, you'll realize white has the advantage. It's a very slight advantage, but because white always moves first, and because chess is really solely about like initiative, it's about who can get that initiative first. And if you play perfectly with white and somebody plays perfectly with black, you'll have the initiative. So it should be a draw or you'd win with perfect play. So with that said, obviously you would want to be white. But the thing is, nobody really plays a perfect game of chess. There's a quote, you probably heard it before, but it goes, a good game of chess is a sign of a gentleman. A perfectly played game of chess is a sign of a wasted life. The point is, if you can play a perfect game of chess, you've studied it too much, because it's like it's so many. There's a guy who did the math on chess one time. It's so many different moves that you can make at any given time. There's no way you should be playing a perfect game of chess. But yeah, I mean, I like the challenge of being black, the challenge of stopping the initiative of white and then going on to get the win. So yeah.
Do you always have the same opening if you're the white?
No, I mean, pretty much I open with e4 most of the time, but you have to react to the moves black make. Chess has been played for thousands of years, so at this point you have like computer engines for chess, and people have studied these engines based off of certain openings. It's called chess theory. It's not theory how you would think about it, like in a scientific way. Chess theory is like, okay, these moves have been proven to work versus these moves against black. So if you follow these moves, you'll automatically have a good position. So to answer your question, no. If I open and do a certain move and black does one move or another move, then I'll react accordingly based off of chess theory, and it'll be different moves.
I love that. And now you mentioned something in there to kind of bring it back to football, that they say that a life wasted, too much study of chess. The NFL's the ultimate chess match, and we saw it last week on the touchdown to Jerome Ford. We've often run that kind of like in out of that look, and we go with the in and go. They bite for it, you get a touchdown. Do you feel like in your study, is there at a point where you get to it and you're like, okay, I've now studied, where you can maybe paralysis by overanalysis, or in your preparation, are you constantly digging, looking at these corners of the Baltimore Ravens, looking at the scheme, look at the way that they employ them, and trying to find that just one little thing, because that one little play could be the difference in the game?
Yeah, it's definitely a such thing as paralysis through analysis in football, because the interesting thing about it, if I had to tie it in with chess again, is at the end of the day, you can study a team, you can study all the games that they've ever played, but you do not know for sure what they're going to do, what they're going to come out there and do. It's impossible to know that unless you're moving at the speed of light and you can reverse time, but or faster than the speed of light. But yeah, the point is, you can never predict what the team is going to do. So at some point, you just have to go out there and be instinctive. You know what I mean? Like, for example, it was like in the, I think, 50s and 60s, when it comes to chess, everybody's heard of Bobby Fischer. Yeah. The Russians dominated chess for decades, and that all came to a halt with Bobby Fischer. The interesting thing about it is they didn't really have chess engines at that time. So Bobby Fischer, basically by himself, because the Russians, in the top 10 players in the world, the Russians probably had like the top 8 players, and then Bobby was obviously one of the best. So I think it was Boris Spassky he was playing. When he was preparing for that game, he literally had to beat all the Russians, because all the Russians were training Boris Spassky to beat this one guy. So he had to beat all these guys. But the thing about it is, they were evaluating his games, and it was like, well, if he does this, you have to do that. If he does this, you have to do that. He came out and did something totally different, and he washed Boris Spassky. So yeah.
And that's one of the things that you like to do. You told me if you run a route and they've put it on tape, you've run it a certain way a lot, you like to change it up on them, and all of a sudden that's how you get open.
Yeah, you gotta be a step ahead of the opponent, and that's where that's where that self-analysis comes in. Yeah.
Amari, pleasure talking with you. Pleasure watching you play. Good luck on.
You're up.
Thank you.
It's funny. We were.
I love that guy.
Yeah, we were on the way to football last night, and NBC goes, "Dad, who on the Browns has the most drip?" And I said, first he said, "Who is the coolest on the Browns?" from like a player standpoint.
Sure.
And I said, I don't know. I think it's probably Nick Chubb is the coolest. He goes, but now that Nick Chubb is hurt, like who do you think's the coolest? I said, probably Deshaun. Deshaun's there, and Denzel and Miles. Like those are probably the coolest. And he goes, well, who has the most drip? And I've said, well, how to differentiate between drip?
Yeah.
and
What does he
cool?
mean by that?
So drip means like visors, arm sleeves, all paying attention to all of that. And I said, I don't know, probably Denzel. Deshaun has a lot of drip too, but like that feels like the answer to that. Usually receivers have a lot of drip.
DPJ is a fashion.
But in terms of
maven,
like on the field, does he have
Chief.
all of the towels and such?
Chief's got the visor. He's got Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs got
Denzel's got a lot of that stuff too, doesn't he? Though.
Yeah, Denzel.
And Delpit.
JOK.
JOK definitely does.
Delpit.
But then we circled. The reason I brought this up is because it circles back to Amari, because like Amari and Nick don't have anything.
No, they're just business.
Just business.
Business.
And I told him, I said, that's actually quite a bit of drip too.
That is.
If you go the other way, there's a simplicity of that drip,
Right.
my friend, as well. All right, coming up next, your keys to victory. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Your furry friend have what it takes to beat out the competition. Enter the dog race sweepstakes presented by Milkbone for a chance to have your pup compete in the annual halftime dog races. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/contest to enter and check out more from Milkbone at your local grocery and pet supply store. It is time for your keys to victory. Cleveland, Baltimore, Dr. Z.
All right, look. The Browns and the Ravens. When the Ravens have the football, it's all about Lamar Jackson. The Browns done a good job on Mark Andrews. I pointed that out. But you got to contain Lamar Jackson. But at the same time, you've got to take it to Lamar Jackson. Talked with Zadarius Smith today. And he was like, we have got to hit him. We have got to get him rattled, get him off of his spots. And if the Browns can do that, then I think they have a very good chance. In 8 career games against the Browns, we have sacked him 18 times. So just a little over 2 a game. We need to get around him, hit him, rattle him, tackle him like he's a running back, and then get the ball out of his hands. He is a little loose with the football, especially when he's running and in the pocket. We've got to get the ball out of his hands. I think so. That's number one. Number two, and part of that goes into being good on first and second down, get him into third and long, obvious drop back passing situations, and then letting yourself go and get after him with our dominant defensive line. The other thing that we need to make sure we do is limit the big plays. You look at the games that they have won, they hit one, and Quadri Ismail alluded to it, hit a big one to Nelson Aguilar. They hit a big one to Zay Flowers, that 52-yarder against Cincinnati.
Yep.
Last week, they did not really hit anything down the field. They had a 20-yard pass to Isaiah Likely, and then and that was it. So this team was not pushing the ball down the field by any stretch of the imagination. You had, one receiver had 8 catches for 48 yards. The other had 4 for 39. Rashad Bateman had 1 for 6. So all your receivers were under 10 yards a catch there. You want that. No big plays. Keep them throwing that short stuff. Make them work down the field. And if you do that and force them to operate enough plays on offense, you're going to get the ball away from them. Now, when we have the ball, it's very, very simple, right? Take care of the football. Mm-hmm. All I'm asking for is a clean sheet. We haven't had that yet all season long. Not one. In fact, we have not won the turnover battle. In fact, we have not even tied the turnover battle in any game this year, and still we're 2-1. You want to be a team of consequence. You want to go on that big run. You have got to clean that up, and I think this would be a great team to do it against. They're without their best cornerback. They are without their top 2 edge rushers. They got to watch for Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen. They're very good kind of in that middle of the field area, but I think on the perimeter, we should be able to take it to this football team and just take care of the football. Take care of the football, and we will be in great shape.
Where are you, confidence-wise?
I feel very good. I think obviously you want Deshaun Watson practicing all week, throwing the ball all week like normal, so that's a little abnormal. That gives you a little bit of a pause, but I like our defense. We have the speed to deal with anybody. You heard it. Quadri Ismail has been on the show many times.
Oh, my God.
And
full
talks
chesty.
A lot of trash.
Yeah.
Chesty. He wasn't nearly as chesty about the Ravens, and then also had a lot of respect for what we're doing. So I think stylistically we match up very well, and it's going to come down to offensive execution, which I feel good about coming off of last week, and taking care of the football. But we're the better team. We are the better team.
Yeah. The if it is, it's going to be Watson. The game plan, I would assume, it's going to have to be altered a little bit based on his inability all week, right? You wonder
so.
What is it, because it's a shoulder, it's throwing shoulder.
It is his throwing shoulder,
but
my guess is that if he's playing, it's more of a pain tolerance issue.
Okay.
And my guess is that they will have they'll be able to alleviate that for 3 hours on a Sunday. So I think he's going to be throwing just fine.
Should be a gorgeous day for it. Your Friday forecast presented by Carrier. Carrier, turn to the experts. A high of 76, sunny skies for kickoff at Cleveland Browns Stadium on Sunday. Could this potentially be apex? Could this be the perfect Sunday?
It has a chance to be certainly a great, great day and perfect weather for the Cleveland Browns and everything that they're doing. This game, has a chance to be apex, right? This could be a real statement game.
A rocket ship, baby.
For this team. Exactly. So you see that. John Harbaugh just commented on Deshaun Watson, who's questionable. We'll be prepared, but everything coming out of there is that Deshaun is going to play, and we're preparing for the Browns. It's the schemes they run on all 3 phases. It's not so much about one player ever. We have not gotten their injury report yet. I'm very curious to see that injury report, though, when we finally get a chance to look at that and see who will be there. Will Ronnie Stanley be playing? Because if he is not, Patrick McCary he's the backup, that's somebody that Myles Garrett can absolutely terrorize. And they would be weak on that left side. Their left guard, John Simpson, has given up a team-high 6 pressures so far this season. Their left tackle has struggled. Zeitler struggled on the guard. So looks like Linderbaum will be back. Morgan Moses, the veteran, has not missed how about this? He has not missed a game since 2014, 133 straight starts for their right tackle, Morgan Moses. But I think we can rattle that line. It sounds like no Odell Beckham, no Rashad Bateman, so it's going to be Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar, and Devin Duvernay. Let's go. I like that matchup for our secondary. I really do. So let's go. Yeah, we are the better team. We got to go out there. We got to handle our business.
Going to be a fun Sunday afternoon, to say the least, and that bye week tastes a lot better coming off of a win and going into it at 3-1. Coming up next, a little segment we like to call The Scores. Please do pay attention. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, sports betting partner, your Cleveland Browns, now available in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Pet Supplies Plus, giving you the chance to win tickets to home games all season long while providing the best deals for your pet for over 75-plus stores in Ohio. Enter to win tickets at clevelandbrowns.com/Pet Supplies Plus. Receive a coupon and use it at your local Pet Supplies Plus with your entry. Pet Supplies Plus, proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. I have not said that cleanly yet. It's a tough one. You try
You'll get it,
Gibby.
baby.
No. I know. I've read through it. I don't know how many times.
Four
I am
Ps
not, I am not
in
cherry
5
picking
words.
You.
Yep.
It's 4 Ps in 5 words.
Socializing opportunities.
You like that I added
And
that
there's
yesterday.
you actually have 3 more up here. So you actually have one. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot going on. All right. How you doing, Gibby?
I'm doing. There's a lot going on. It's alumni weekend. Hoff's going up into the Ring of Honor Sunday.
Oh, that's going to be sweet. Nostradamus.
Like, there's lots going on.
A lot.
And it's supposed to be sunny and nice out. And why does it look like it's getting more overcast by the minute?
I'll tell you right now.
What is going on?
Yeah. Last night was like the first time where I was like, oh, it's fall and winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
I was freezing at football practice last night in
It's
the
not
rain.
ideal.
Just
Yeah.
rain, just drenching rain and I'm just like, what have I done? What have I done? Brutal.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, but it looks like we're in for so it's going to be great. Thank you for the Go Juice.
Yep.
We got a great one. Great one on Sunday, and I think the extended's all pretty nice. This is peak Ohio right now. We're in the
good
we're in
time.
the thick
Late
of it.
September, early October. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good time.
All right. Week 4, the scores, but before that, what happened in week 3, Bo?
Oh my
or
gosh,
Nathan?
we got mid-80s next week, gentlemen.
I know.
Shorts, baby.
Well, I'm not taking. Oh, and then
I don't want to talk about it because the bye weekend, I saw it this morning, and there was anger.
I can take 60s. as
No.
long as it's not rain.
It was 60s and rain.
Yeah, you can't. We're a long ways out there. You can't. Worry
It's
about
a
that.
long way.
What's Connor with a K doing?
I don't know. He's just checking. Is
Checking in?
observing Gibbe. He's watching Gibbe. Oh, how did we do
we're
last
good.
week? Well,
How
let
did
me
we do?
tell you. We both went 11-5.
Oh boy.
Oh, baby. 6 games over. And given the fact that I got one that you did not, which was Houston, and you got one that I did not, which was the Arizona Cardinals,
Yep.
one of us correctly picked 13 of the 16 games.
Won't last forever, people. But I hope you got rich.
Well, right now, you are a robust 20 games over 500. I am a robust, but not as robust as yours. 10 games over 500, which I'm quite pleased
crazy.
with. Quite pleased
A
with.
combined 30.
Combined 30. Well, really now combined 32 after
Yeah,
last
after
night.
last night
Our Thursdays,
are perfect.
they really, but like legitimately happen
Yeah, okay.
It's happening every week.
every week. What do you keep saying yeah, okay for? We have given, and we say the whole gimmick is we give the opposite.
That's
And
right.
it's worked every single week. We haven't even had to do the one.
I
Well, we
don't
told
think
you
it
what was going to happen.
I don't think it has.
Uno doesn't know what's going on this front.
I don't. Well, the first week we talked about it, and you said that Bo and
It's your
Z were going to
debut, by
say
the
that
way.
they won, even though they didn't because they picked the wrong one.
No, we both had
opposite.
Detroit.
Thursday's
No, I
opposite.
meant like week 1,
Yes, that
Yes,
was Detroit.
Kansas City.
and you guys both picked Detroit.
both picked Detroit.
No, but we said we picked
We said
Kansas
we
City,
picked
which
Kansas
meant
City
Detroit because it was a Thursday night
Did you
game.
do the opposite?
See, I wasn't initiated
He
into
wa-
that,
he didn't
so
know.
in my eyes,
That's not
we lost
Uno's
in
fault.
week 1.
No,
That's
we
not
got
Uno's
that
fault.
right.
That's Gibby's
We
fault.
got week 2 right.
Your fault,
we got
Gibby.
week 3 right. We got week
Great.
4 right.
Yeah,
Like we
4-0.
said, the Giants are going to kill the Niners.
Yeah, nailed it.
Nailed it.
Last night, nailed it.
Nailed it.
Lambeau Field.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
Instead, they were beaten on every level.
On every level.
You're getting better.
He is.
He's
He's
still the
coming.
leader in the
He's coming.
clubhouse,
Yeah,
but
he's
that
coming.
one
It's
was
coming. Yeah.
the facial expression.
I got a little-
could be a
I got a
meme.
little
If
zest.
you want to freeze that,
Yeah.
that could.
Life is good.
It will tear a vocal. I don't know that there's a Jabba. It's like a Jabba the lip lick.
Oh, there
when
was.
Leia came
there
out.
was after Life is Good.
There was. That's true.
Yes, there was.
That's true.
Yes, there was.
I bet there was. Playmaker can't stop him.
No, you
Can't even hope
cannot.
to contain him.
No, there's not even a hope of that.
Did we talk about him when he went to the Colorado game and he was icing his knees? He just went as a fan, and his knees were icing. Like he played.
He's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
What?
Wow. Hey, by the way, there's an incredible development that's happening. A RP17 on social has he's ready to go for the Denver trip. He's got round of golf, 3 of us at a Nicholas course, steakhouse dinner in Cherry Creek, which is where you want to be, transportation to and from Boulder, all before they slay some dog. Like, this guy's in. And he's like,
glad you
He
cleaned
said,
that
let's
up.
go, Gibbe.
let's go. Get on the DM. He's ready to go.
Gibbe,
He
DMs
wants a
are
part
open.
of it. Yeah, you guys got to find a way to make that work.
The only person that can make that work is a girl.
At least it's been acknowledged.
No. And the reason why.
Save that audio.
Save
Uno.
that. Where's that? Right.
Save it.
Save that right now.
Save it.
Save it. That
Hit
needs
that
to be a
save.
hotkey.
231. I got it.
Thank you.
Got it. Good job, Uno.
Uno,
231.
stop talking.
Uno's doing great. No, that was me. That's the first thing I want to save that on.
Save that.
Save
we need that.
I'd like that to be in the open.
Should be in the Uno. Love that. He loves that.
Is your mic still on?
Uno's a terrific
Okay,
audience.
good.
He's a terrific audience. He's good.
I was like,
Uno's-
did he leave it on?
He's
There
one of
are
those-
conversations going on there with Jacob Square.
Oh, man.
Where
Where
the,
was that-
Where
what
the
was
ice
it-
boxes we're calling him next
What
to.
was it? The
Griff.
Oh, it was Curb when LD, the professional crier. Remember that one of his buddies was dating, and then he was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Well, what? You weren't even emotional. Like that, he could be the opposite, professional laugher." Uno's ready to go.
He is ready to
He's
go.
a great
No,
audience.
what I mean by that is
As long as he doesn't say
I will,
LOL
in no
instead
way,
of
shape,
laughing.
or form am I going to get the chance because we're not going out an extra day early. We're going out the day before. I have to go to the stadium and
I just
set
thought-
up. I've got to tape pregame
you
with
got,
Coach.
You got nothing. It's
Like,
fine.
I
Tape it all
don't-
here before you
I-
leave.
I am happy for dinner.
No,
Yeah.
you
and
got to
some
play golf.
cocktails,
Go play
but
golf.
I was-
golf I
Live.
can't do.
I
Live.
thought the way that he was
And it
spinning
gets
that
dark
was
early.
only special exemptions Aguras can make us get to play golf. That's what I thought he was saying
Well,
by
I
that.
believe
Because I
there
thought it was like
there
it
were
was a
luminaries-
compliment, but still
There
backhanded.
were a few luminaries this week in here that were asking what your availability was for next week.
That's right, for a little trip down south to
71.
your neck of the woods.
Former neck of the woods.
Oh, a little. Yeah,
The
that'd be
field
fun.
of the Muir.
That'd be fun for you.
That'd be
I'd
great. Never
yeah,
played
I'm
it.
very curious. I think you'd do well.
I don't
This
know.
is the time of year to play it.
This is not time of year that I play golf, though, so I'm going to be out there.
No, but like it's that course is never easier than right now.
Yeah.
So the,
Yeah,
the,
never
the,
easier.
the
Sometimes it's good
problem
when you
is
have no thoughts, though.
we are not slated to land in Denver till 3:25. It will be dark at 5 o'clock.
I don't know. Maybe do this normal public transit out on a Friday so you can play Saturday morning. Let's go. I'm a problem solver.
We have obligations.
You don't.
We have to do the
fly out-
show.
No, Friday afternoon.
It's Friday afternoon after Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah,
we're flying.
and unfortunately, then we're
You want to stay with
going to
the-
be gone for quite some time.
Well, that's fine. That'll be the week off the show for me. Show originates
Oh,
from
I
Los
don't
Angeles.
believe so.
Live from LA.
Live from
you
LA
are
with the boys.
looking live.
That's right. Yeah, that's good. All right, let's go. What do we got?
Yeah, we should probably get to it. We have a number of games.
People are right now. People are just sitting there with pens, paper,
They
waiting
should.
with bated breath.
Yeah, they should.
should.
Be.
Give me more
It's
winners.
been
Can't
years of
guarantee
this.
it, but it
It's literally been years of this. 6 seasons of dominance.
kind of insane.
It's crazy.
because
I would put it up against anybody who's doing this.
yeah,
I really would.
And-
I don't think anyone doing this has done better than we have over the last 6 years. I don't believe
and
it.
no one would advocate ever for picking every game.
Nobody would do that.
Nobody would ever do that.
God, no.
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 We kick things off week 4 in the National Football League with a trip overseas across the pond to London. The first international game of the year will feature Jacksonville in their second home, maybe a permanent home one day. Jacksonville playing host to the 2-1 Atlanta Falcons. Zagura, kick us off.
I think the Falcons are bad. I think the Jags have played badly, but upon going back, Calvin really dropped a touchdown on their opening drive.
catch
They
the ball.
should have scored on their second drive, too, when something I forget weird happened, and then all of a sudden they were down 14-0.
Yep.
They are better than they were last week. They are better than the Falcons. It's basically a home game for the Jags. I like the Jags huge. Jacksonville, 99. Falcons, 90.
I was hoping you weren't going to do something else there. Yeah. No, samesies. By the way, the president of the Jaguars, like, going public with say, hey, if we don't get some money, we're going to be on the move. Noteworthy.
Very noteworthy.
Noteworthy.
Remember, it wasn't that long ago that Urban Meyer and the Jags were building
It was
this
fundraising.
unbelievable
Facilities. He thought he was back in
facility.
college.
Yeah,
He's back in college.
it's gonna be a hotel and a.
Fundraising. Showing up at the TPC in a Jaguars gear like he was a college coach.
So it's just football all the time.
We want to be
Yeah.
250 run, 250 pass. Come again?
Excuse me.
Why are we trying in the preseason?
Because
it doesn't matter.
He was so pissed when we beat him in the preseason.
So bad.
Yeah, he was. All right, to the AFC we go. In Week 4 of the National Football League, the Cincinnati Bengals get their first win of the year. Their reward, a trip to Nashtucky to take on the Tennessee Titans. Bishop?
Yeah, I think the same problems that Tennessee had on our defensive front will carry over to this week in Cincinnati's defensive front. I like Cincinnati winning this game, much closer than the game they had with us, but I like Cincinnati going down there and winning this game 17-14.
I don't see a Mike Vrabel team having another dud performance like this. I just don't see it happening. I think they're going to circle the wagons. They're going to be ready to go. Burrow, not 100%. T. Higgins, not happy.
I feel like one of the Titans wide receivers is dinged up again.
Traylon Burks.
Yes, I don't think he's going to play.
No, but they're gonna get physical like we did. They're gonna run the ball. The Bengals are gonna win this game. Oh yes.
Oh boy, are they?
But not by much. Bengals 2, Titans 0.
Safety. Sam Hubbard, safety.
Number of runners stranded, 5 apiece
That's right.
for
That's
both
right.
teams. To the inmate game of the week, and boy is it.
This is
the
awful.
Chicago Bears playing host to the Denver Broncos. I mean, if you're going to get on track, Denver, now or never. Zagora.
I was on another radio
That's a
program.
miss.
That was a miss. That was a rim shot. I was on another program, and they asked, you love football. Is there a game that you wouldn't watch? And I was like, I'm glad that Denver and Chicago's on at 1 when I'm working, because if it was a primetime game, I don't think that I would be watching it. They're both awful. Chicago can't beat anybody. Their offense coordinator, though, said that they're just about to hit their stride, that they're really everything they've been doing is tuning up for this moment. The Broncos just gave up 70, though. This is one of those I can't choose the cup in front of me or the cup in front of you. I wish that there was a bonus that I could call for like a push or a tie, and I could get like a triple value out of it. But unfortunately, I'm going to take the Denver Broncos.
Well, the thing that really sucks about this is that
By 6.
this score has changed significantly from the last yesterday to the tune of a 2.5 point difference.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I picked it this way, so I'm just going to roll with it. Home team getting points, I'll take it. These teams both suck.
Yep.
Maybe Justin Fields makes a couple of plays. Chicago wins late.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they should be. That was wrong. I'm sure I got that one wrong.
It was just like crazy.
I think you did.
I'm sure,
I
because
think
that
you
would
had
never
3
even
or
have
3
occurred
and
to
a
me.
half.
Yeah, win.
Yeah. All right, up next, we go to Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson will be back at quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Colts playing host to the Los Angeles Rams. I'm assuming the Rams stayed here.
And the Colts have won 2 in a
did they
row,
go
right?
back?
They have won 2 in a row, yeah. Yeah, I would think they would because they played
Monday night.
Monday night in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
assuming that they've stayed here.
Maybe they went to the Greenbrier.
There's that
don't know.
Baden Springs place in French Lick they could go to as well in southern Indiana. That's
Well,
where the Pete Dye
you don't
course
want
is.
distractions. That's where
That's
you
where
go.
you go,
French
yeah,
Lick,
for
Indiana.
sure.
Home
It's a
of
pretty sweet
the
place.
Birdman.
Google that sucker.
I will.
Google it up, baby.
Right now, I'm locked in.
Bishop.
I'll go. I mean, it's a pick 'em. I like Rams rebounding. Give me Stafford and the Rams.
Puka Nakua Tutu Atwell. Oh, baby. Rams. I like it. Supposedly the Rams might be in the market for Jonathan Taylor, which makes no sense to me that they would have the assets or the money to do it. So I don't get that. Kyron Williams been a nice fantasy
As
surprise.
he sits
Keep it going.
stashed on my fantasy bench, I would love that.
Well, you just like him to play for the Colts would be fine.
That
Zach
would be
Moss
good
just
too,
ran
yeah.
for 100. I think in that offense with he and Richardson in the backfield, it'd be great.
2 teams that I frankly have no idea what direction they're going in.
Hey, Gibby, September 4th, 2027, Bowling Green at Ohio State to open the season.
Well,
Good luck with that, lamb to slaughter.
Yeah, right.
By the
if
way,
you go back
the
and look at
Buckeyes-
the MAC
Buckeyes
teams
will-
that have played Ohio State the toughest, the alma mater has been quite respectful.
the next week they're going to play the mighty New Hampshire football team.
Is that even a Division I program?
It's Ryan Day's alumni. I think that's why they're playing there. After that, they got Bama, so at least that's something. But jeez, I don't know how you can do that.
As long as you get one big big of the
Yeah,
four,
it's bad.
then I feel like you're good.
Yeah, it's bad.
All right, to the other big game of the week outside of our game with the Ratbirds, the Buffalo Bills playing host to the undefeated Miami Dolphins for AFC East control in Week 4. Nathan Zagora, no Jordan Poyer in this one for the Bills.
I can't for the life of me figure out this line.
Nope.
The Dolphins are playing better than anybody in the league right now. It just feels like, and I had this conversation with somebody else, it feels like I think the Dolphins should have been on the other side.
Correct.
They should have been the favorite in this game. I'm shocked that they are the underdog, but they are. So what do they know that we don't? That's my question. This feels like a situation where every person who has watched any NFL this year or follows the league in any respect would be on the side of the Miami Dolphins. And for whatever reason, historically, that does not work out very well.
Mm-hmm.
So thus, Bills 31, Dolphins 28.
Do the math.
Dolphins they're better. They're better.
They are.
Miami wins. If this game was later in the season, Miami's healthy. They don't lose when Tua quarterbacks. Dolphins are winning.
What sense do you make of the line?
I can't. I'm not overthinking it this year.
Oh, you're doing well.
I'm not.
I was
I'm
going to
just-
say, it's worked
sometimes
out well
it's
through
just-
3 weeks.
Just, they're better.
To Carolina we go. From one great game to not so great. Bryce Young will be back for the Carolina Panthers. Miles Sanders questionable with a groin injury. Carolina facing the winless Minnesota Vikings, maybe showcasing Kirk Cousins in this one. Bishop.
Vikes get right big. Vikes by 2
Should.
scores. Yep.
Same.
Here's another dog of a game. The Squealers on the road visiting the Houston Texans. Texans with a big win last week against Jacksonville. C.J. Stroud coming out party. Tough one on Sunday against a very good Squealer defense. Zagura.
He's
I
never.
don't know what to make
the
of it.
pressure of Watt and Highsmith, I feel like maybe too much for young C.J. Stroud to
great.
bear. He has been great. They're coming off of a big win. Steelers 99. Texans 100.
Steelers by 7.
Gross.
I hate it, but I'm. Yeah.
3-1.
I don't like it. You're too
I
hot
don't
to
like
be
that.
doing all this stuff.
I
You got our whole
definitely don't like that.
Cincinnati winning.
I know.
Gross.
I know.
All right, to the NFC South we go. A week ago, 3 teams in the NFC South were unbeaten, all 3 with big L's. And the Panthers losing last week. 4 teams in the conference going 0-4. It's New Orleans hosting Tampa Bay. Is Jameis starting this game?
I haven't
I
seen
was just
anything.
looking at that right now. I
Yeah,
didn't see.
I haven't seen it. If he is, it doesn't make sense to me. Because
kinda
I'm not
surprised they
sure
haven't taken that
either
off
of
the
these
board.
either of these are particularly good. New Orleans does own them over there.
Yes.
And I like New Orleans defense. So give me New Orleans by 7.
Segura.
Same.
To the NFC East we go. The Eagles 3-0 on the season. Playing host to the Commies 2-1. Tough week for my Commies last week against the Buffalo Bills. We'll see if they can't turn it around here against Philly. Zagura.
Sam Howell, terrible. 4 picks last
Oh, my
week.
God.
Can't have
Dreadful.
that.
The Eagles have not really unlocked and shellacked anybody. Washington coming off of a shellacking. I just don't think they get shellacked twice in a row under Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron. I think he kind of gets them to toughen it up a little bit. Eagles win this one comfortably, but late. Sam Howell.
Give it to Brian Robinson.
Throw it to Terry McLaurin. Eagles 35. Washington 27.
Same, but different. Eagles explode this week. This is when they go. This is when they go. Eagles, huge.
Well, I'm going to be.
Huge.
One of us is going in an
Well,
opposite
it could
direction
go,
of the other.
You win some, I win some. Who
It
knows?
could
It's
be
all-
true.
You never know how it goes.
To the AFC West we go. Speaking of going places, the Los Angeles Chargers, Staley, stay of execution after last week's gift
Garoppolo
from
is
Minnesota.
in concussion protocol.
Chargers hosting the Raiders. Both teams 1-2 on the year. Chargers can put themselves right back into decent shape here because their division is just not great.
Yeah, outside of Kansas City, I like Chargers big in this one. I think they finally roll on all cylinders. They're going to do just enough this season to talk themselves into more Brandon Staley. So I like the Chargers big.
Ugh.
Yeah, no Jimmy Garoppolo. Feels like, at least as of right now, it's headed that direction. Yeah, I like the Chargers big as well. They should get Austin Eckler back. They've been so one-dimensional without him. That'll give them at least a little bit of balance. Herbert's been spectacular. I like the Chargers by $1 billion.
So, again, and I believe, Bishop, you mentioned this earlier in the week, watch the 1 o'clock games and then just take the rest of the day off because your 4 o'clock games are Raiders, Chargers, Patriots, Cowboys. This one right here, 49ers and Arizona Cardinals.
I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he's like, Nate, can you believe how absurd the line is in this game? And I'm like, you think it should be more than 14? He's like, no, it should be like 7. I was like, the Niners are awesome.
Debo playing or no Debo?
That's what he's like. Debo's hurt. Ayuk's hurt. The third receiver's hurt. Nobody knows anything. Blah, 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 blah.
Kyle will promote some practice squad guy that'll have 10 catches for 200
They're gonna be
yards
fine.
and 2 scores.
It's the
and that'll be
Niners.
enough to win.
It is a huge number, though.
The problem is like, what's the motivation in the third and fourth quarter? Like, this is what makes these hard. They'll be up 17-0, 21-0 at half, but will they want to keep playing and bury? That's what makes it hard.
And my
And
guess,
I think they will.
I think they will as well. It's a huge number, but I'm fine with it because, again, from a psychological standpoint, you've got Arizona. They just beat Dallas. So I feel like that a lot of people will be like, oh, I'll take them in 2 touchdowns. So I like the Niners as well. Dad, I'm doing it for you. Suits for everyone.
Samesies.
Again, trying to force feed us the New England Patriots are the TV
So,
networks.
like, Tom Brady doesn't play there anymore.
There's
Hasn't in
I
years.
told you guys, they think they're like an America's team thing, and
I-
they're playing the actual America's team here.
Yeah. Patriots visiting the
Bronco
Cowboys.
Nation.
Cowboys a week from today. Except we won't be here a week from today. We'll be off.
Cowboys wake-up call last week.
I think so.
They bounce back. I think they win by 10. I think New England's trash. New England won by 5 against the Jets, who could not matriculate the ball at all down the field.
Yeah.
Boys.
I like the Cowboys as well. Same.
Sunday Night Football. Again, Jets fans, stop spending money like for a shot at Taylor Swift because NBC's going to show her nonstop. They're using her music for the game previews that they put out today.
It's all
and their hype
off-putting to
videos.
me. It's off-putting.
It's too much.
It's going to be all Taylor Swift Sunday Night Football. You don't even need to go
not.
and watch this slaughter fest. Chiefs rolling to New Jersey.
I gotta tell
was
you,
going to say New York, but it's
so-
New Jersey.
It's interesting how this week's going to play out. So you have the only underdogs that you have. You have Chicago,
Yep.
and you have Miami,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest is straight chalk.
Yep.
Does that ever happen?
I don't know.
And I don't disagree with a lot of it. I could have talked myself into New England just squeaking inside the number. Same with Arizona.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna do it. Is it gonna be the Jets? I don't know. Josina Anderson said that they were disrespecting Zach Wilson too much, and he's gonna show everybody.
He's not showing anybody anything.
He might be with Josh Rosen because I remember we're supposed to get don't sleep on Josh Rosen. I don't know here. I don't see any other outcome in this game other than Kansas City doing it, but yet somehow I feel like I'm being an idiot, but I'm compelled to say Chiefs 108,
Oh,
Jets
God, don't do it.
100.
Oh, my God. Chiefs, $1 billion. Jets, 2. All right, there you go. Our score coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, Sunday, Cleveland Browns Radio Network, 9 a.m., Browns Game Day, Ken and Gerard, 11 a.m., the kickoff show, Andy and Tyvis, and then at 1 o'clock, Chris, Z, Gerard, with Jim and our thoughts and prayers from Cleveland Browns Stadium. How do you see it, buddy?
I think we get a much-needed win. I think it is tight, it is tense, and it is galvanizing in the outcome. I think the Browns ultimately go on to win this one 24-20.
Same. Let's go. 3-1 bye week. Get it done, kids.
Oh, gosh. It'd be so...
Have a week.
Champagne wishes Hoff in studio on Monday.
Oh, baby.
Oh, I don't want
Buffalo
it.
kids.
It's got to be a pure
It's
joy.
got to be a
Hoff.
W. It's got to be
I
a
don't
dub.
want to deal with I don't want a downer Hoff.
I'm
Got to
going
be
to
pure
be
joy.
chugging 73 Kolsch
Yep.
all show
That's
long.
exactly what we
That's right.
need. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.